Hello, everyone, and welcome to our final countdown for the Marvel United Multiverse Kickstarter campaign. My name is Elena. I am joined here today by designer Andrea Chiarvesio,
Ciao.
producer Thiago Aranha,
Hello.
and producer Kenneth Ten, who, if you're familiar, is the owner of our most amazing setup for mini display. So how are all of you today? Let's go clockwise. How are you, Andrea?
Well, actually still sick, to be honest, but holding on. Ready to finish the campaign.
Wow,
So-
yeah.
A new change of scenery here. I'm out of Nuremberg. The Nuremberg fair is over, and now I'm still in Germany at my sister's place. I'm not sure how stable or good the connection is. So we do still have Guile waiting in the wings if he is called for, if my connection really goes downhill. It's snowing a bit outside, so you never know what's going to happen. But excited to see the final countdown.
Yeah. And how are you, Kenneth, joining us today for the first time in this campaign?
Good. Got lots of toys to show everybody.
Well, this was an exciting 2 days. It's only been 2 days, 3 days. We last saw you guys on Friday, and we already have a bunch to cover, right?
Yeah, and I think we did leave the last live stream with a promise that the weekend would not be a quiet one.
That is true.
And we did have a big, very surprising reveal on the Sunday, which I guess we can open up with that.
Yeah, making lots of people really, really happy. The pet companions.
Yeah.
Oh yes, this was very unexpected. And well, Andrea, what can you tell us about this?
Well, this is really, how can you say, due to popular demand. They didn't exist on day one of the campaign, but we heard you and we read so many requests for the pets that me and Thiago said, "Oh, we might really give a try to the whole thing and concept."
Yeah, because the thing it's not just about the request; it's about awesome sounding requests, and you go, "Oh, this is If people want this, this would be a fun addition to the game, a cute one. You could see many people getting very excited about it, and it was interesting. Like it was a short process, but a very intense one to bring this to reality. Because even initially, the idea was, let's make companion cards to put in your deck, and it's going to be fun. It adds a little extra things you can do, but like immediately when you talked about that, like I realized like there's no way we can have a Cosmo card, a Goose card, and not have this cute little mini on the board like this. Like people are going to riot. We cannot do that. So I really bugged Andrea and his team. Like, guys, we need to make this work as a minis on the table, cards in your hand. Let's use those pets as companions.
Because the trick is we had one design that we already used, which was the Kitty Pryde and Lockheed, and they worked together, and Lockheed had the miniature, but that was embedded with the 12 cards of Kitty. So adding more cards, as players might understand very well, tends to dilute the hero deck and to kind of break the internal balance of the deck. So that was the huge challenge for balancing. I'm seeing people asking, but doesn't this makes the game too easy? No, it doesn't, because yes, you have 3 extra cards in your deck, and by the way, when playing with the pets, we highly encourage you to remove the double wild and the single wild. So at the end, you only have 1 extra card in your deck, plus they only have single icons below them. That's for balancing reasons. And at that point, some heroes might even see their inner synergies not work that well. I mean, weird example, but She-Hulk bringing a pet together with her, that might dilute her inner synergy of her deck. So no, it doesn't make the game any easier, but it makes it more interesting and cuter. And who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
I see some fun questions. Sorry. Can rules be made to play all pets together as a playable hero?
Yeah, I saw some very interesting suggestions about like using the pets, like just an amalgamation of pets as a hero, just a deck full of pets. I guess there could be some interesting experiments there, right?
Yeah, I mean, not in 2 days, please, but we can look into that. Okay.
Another question here. Is there a box for the pets, or are they in the stretch goal box?
No, because they are an optional buy. They're not stretch goals, so you need to add them to your pledge. This means they come in their own little box.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at those minis, shall we?
Yeah.
Full disclosure, this were as you saw, these were such recent additions that Kenneth does not have those resins. So we will be looking at renders.
Yes, it was and still is quite a challenge to find the right sizes for these, because like we need to kind of fudge a bit the scales, because like Throg would be like too small for a mini if we did it at his actual size, and like so we're kind of taking the Lockheed mini from the X-Men campaign as the baseline for the general size that they should have. So smaller than a proper hero character, but not too small. We wanted to feel like have a nice presence on the table, enough detail and all that. So we're still going to play around with the exact scale. But yeah, I think that's the general gist of it. And yeah, trying to get this roster approved was very interesting. Like we had some other combinations, but this one's the one that really won out. I was very happy to be able to add Alligator Loki there. It was one I was initially a bit not sure if it was okay for us to use in our game, but and even Goose, whose original comic's name was Chewie, but Marvel agreed that we could call her Goose.
Yeah. We had some interesting exchange of opinions on which pets should have been included, which one are not, which one cannot be because they are only part of the MCU and stuff like that.
Yeah, and of course we know there are many other pets that could have gone into this set, but we had to focus on a feasible number of pets to include. Yeah, I know Tippy Toe and there are many others that could maybe someday a second edition of the pet companion set they might come up. But also a recurring question that I see is about can they all be like hero characters? And this was a discussion with Marvel. So basically, if a character is a hero, then he's a hero. If he's a pet companion, he's a pet companion. Like they didn't want us kind of crossing over all these things, but that's what the community is out there for.
Well, before we move forward, who's your favorite here on screen? Let's start top to bottom. So Andrea, who's your favorite here?
Cosmo by far.
Oh, really? Aranha?
Yeah, to me, Jeff, like that greening, like going all out, no regard for anything, tongue out. It's such a happy little land shark.
Such a happy. What about you, Kenneth?
I like Throg myself. I like Throg.
Yeah, I was going to vote for him as well. It's so adorable.
Yeah, he was the most challenging to sculpt because he's such a tiny and kind of thin-limbed creature that for us to be able to have him work at that scale, to like find a pose like with the rock, so we could have this like a bigger volume of him while still presenting him as he's supposed to be. And I think it turned out very, very well in his heroic pose, raising Frogjolnir or something.
Yeah. So really cool figure. A question here that will take us to, I think, our next topic. Does Lockjaw get pet helper cards? So let's talk about the cards, shall we?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, the answer is here they are. So what's happening here?
I mean, so the question is different. The question is Lockjaw using companions as his companions, and there's absolutely no reason not to do it, right?
Yeah, technically you can. It's up to you to decide if it makes any thematic sense or not. But technically, that's no. I mean, the only technicality is if you're using Kitty Pryde with Lockheed, you can only have Lockheed as her pet and not give the 3 Lockheed cards to a different hero. That would create confusion, rules issues when playing. But apart from this little thing, any hero can be accompanied by any pet.
Oh, I got that question wrong. I thought people were asking about the pet cards for Lockjaw.
Yeah, for Lockheed. So we did include
Lockheed. Oh my god.
too many locks. Yeah, it's Deathlock, Lockheed, Lockjaw. Too many locks. Unlocking stretch goals left and right. But yeah, so when we closed the set. Okay, so we knew we wanted 6 new companions for the set. So in most modes you can have each hero with a companion. So we closed on those 6. We knew it didn't make sense to do Lockheed again because he already exists and is already out there. But of course, when we had this new mechanic, we thought, like, why not do cards for him, so you can still use the same miniature in this new game mode to add him to any other character, especially Magic. I think she'll be happy to have Lockheed at her side.
Wow. Okay. You mentioned I see lots of questions here, and now I simply cannot unmix Lockheed and Lockjaw anymore. I simply won't ever again. So shall we, speaking of stretch goals, you mentioned Deathlock? So shall we move to Kenneth's amazing setup? Kenneth, are you ready?
What do you have there on your turntable?
Let's see. Oh, okay. First off, starting off not with the stretch goals, but with the expansion we announced last Friday.
Yeah, this is where we last left off. We were talking about Maximum Carnage, and there they are. And that is one sinister display.
So you've got to give me some time. We've got to clear this, and then we're going to start with this stretch.
Oh, they're gone.
Fancy.
Yeah, so yeah, it was great seeing the reception to the Maximum Carnage expansion, because that was a very cool one. And speaking about cool ones, we finished the Winter Guard.
Yes. Oh wow. Yeah. We're taking a look at a few of the resins we weren't able to show last week. So Ursa Major was unlocked, I think, last Thursday, but here we are seeing the real thing for the first time.
Yeah, he's a big burly bear.
Yeah.
And now with Red Guardian, we finally revealed the full gameplay for the Winter Guard as villains, which is another villain team for the heroes to face. Some good old oldies but goldies. Oh, nice.
Yes. So Sam Wilson, Blaster.
Yeah, and
the
Hobby.
I just love the Hobgoblin figure, the little bat. It's just too cool.
Okay, now we're getting to the more recent stuff with High Evolutionary and Deathlock. I think the High Evolutionary mechanically very interesting what you did there. We even had to include a spoiler tag in the update.
Yes. Oh, sorry. I see a question here. Let's answer them as we go. Will Red Guardian have equipment?
I don't really remember. Don't think so, Thiago. No?
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Okay. Oh, people are asking about equipment for everyone. Okay.
Enchantress.
That's an interesting one. Oh, and
Pièce de résistance. Yeah, so that was one I've been yearning to reveal. Come on, Kenneth, don't take him out. Let him spin there. don't take it out. And okay, so one question that I think I heard many people ask is about clear effects for the Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze miniature, and I kind of over all the live streams, I've kind of prepared people for this exact moment when I always say we do clear parts whenever we can, whenever it works, whenever it's feasible, and this is unfortunately one of those cases where it was just not feasible. Like, this is already a very complex figure. It's lots of parts, lots of details, lots of intricate pieces. If we try to separate what is clear and what's not, that would not only expensive, which is a problem, which is something we need to take into account, like very problematic, lots of potential for mistakes in assembly and all that, but it probably wouldn't even look that good because we would have connecting parts where we shouldn't have connecting parts. So this is one where we're going to have to trust your painting skills to bring those flames to life. But even if you don't do it, it looks bloody amazing, I have to say.
Yeah, it does. The
great sculpt.
The chain in particular looks incredible.
Yeah, the whole thing, the fire trailing behind the back tire there, everything.
Yeah, and you really had to find a way to fit the bike in the mini, right? That must have been a challenge.
Yeah, I knew it because when we decided, okay, like people really want to see the original Ghost Rider. Like, we knew we had to do if we're gonna do him, he has to have his bike. There's no option there. So okay, how do we fit it? Of course, the only way to do it is to have him revving up and one wheel up in the air, and it just makes for an amazing piece.
Yeah.
I think.
Do we have anything else to show?
I think that's the last of the stretch goals. Also, a lot of people are saying that we are doing Helena United today. Do you want to swap your face with my face so that I can cover it instead of you?
No, I don't think I can. I think I'll just have to dodge this.
The United log.
Yeah, I guess that brings us to the present then.
Okay,
wow.
Yeah, it is. It has only been 3 days since the last live stream, so no time like the present to unveil some awesome new stuff.
Right.
Okay. Let's get to it. This will be our last one.
Oh, getting that right off the way immediately. So, are you guys excited? Excited to learn about our last optional buy? Let's get to it.
Hey.
Yes.
Smash.
It's World War Hulk.
Yes.
So what can you guys tell us about this? I've been seeing a lot of speculation ever since I think Civil War. People were like, oh, you guys think there will be World War Hulk? Okay. So can you tell us the story behind this?
So one thing, I fully agree with the comment there from Dom 2D. This is oops, all beef box.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the burliest box of them all. It's a lot of muscle on display.
And like approaching it on the design angle, we just said, okay, we want a box with 3 really, really tough villains to beat, and equally good heroes to go against them.
Face them.
And you can mix them because, as you might have noticed, the 3 villains in this set are all anti-heroes, so they can kind of rotate and challenge each other. And well, design is kind of unique. We can go into detail later because I usually anticipate too much.
Yes, yeah. So this is a box something we had to do. Like even if it's just for the Hulkbuster, like come on, that deserves a whole expansion built around it. We had to bring that amazing figure to life in Marvel United, and yeah, I think it's fun to have these different tastes of expansion. So like this is the smashing expansion. Is big guys, big muscles, all the strength in the galaxy clashing against each other. Yeah, like over half of it is anti-heroes. Lots of fights in this box.
Well, shall we take a look at this absolute unit of a box and who comes in it?
Let's start.
Starting off with Hulkbuster.
Yeah, we have our 2 heroes there, Hulkbuster and Hercules. Many requests for these 2, especially Hulkbuster, and yeah, this was a fun one to work around and try to make fit on that hero base. It's really one of the biggest heroes we have in the game. I think probably the biggest one in terms of a hero. Well, Goliath takes the cake because come on, he's a giant. But as far as normal sized heroes, it's the Hulkbuster.
And this is a version of Hulk that villains will have of Iron Man that villains will have a hard time in takedown. So he's there to absorb massive damage from villains and send something back.
Yeah, because the Hulkbuster is specifically designed to take out the Hulk. So like it has like specific synergies and things that he does to try and bypass what the Hulk does best. I think. Should we cut to Kenneth? Do you have those guys there with you?
Yeah, sure. Hulkbuster and
yeah, that is chunky.
Yeah, I think consider that Hercules is not a small hero by any account. The scale comparison there is not quite accurate, but yeah. We wanted to show as much as yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's impressive, really.
Yeah, ready to punch Hulk in the face. Of course, the Hulkbuster, as an Iron Man, he just come with his equipment, with special armor and special attacks, all the arsenal that Tony Stark brings to the fight.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. We do have a few cards here.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Okay, so what can you tell us about that? It will take some hefty equipment to take down the Hulk. So what do we have there?
Yes, well, I think it's mainly in his cards, but the Omnibeam is kind of a classic equipment for our Iron Mans. But he has cards that can pin down a villain and stop the villain where he's there. He has cards to absorb damage, so it's really like the best way. Again, when we have the same character, we always try to approach it from a very different angle, and this is the strongest armor Tony Stark has at disposal. It's designed to contain the Hulk. It's designed to take hits from the Hulk and to pin him down and neutralize it. So his whole powers will be around around that. Rage is not an equipment, but it's here. But it's probably good to mention something.
But before we move to Hulk, just on what you're saying about Hulkbuster, talk about that pin down card. I think that's one of my favorites because when you talk about the mechanics, like he's basically punching the enemy and keeping him down so he doesn't move. So it's an attack that pins down the enemy, and so people are going to be able to see that on the update. The art for that, like. I briefed the art, like we had to go with the Hulkbuster really just smashing the enemy into the ground, like just that classic Hulkbuster, stay down.
This one made me laugh. Card text: go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Exactly. It is that scene. Yeah, it is that scene in card form.
It's so bad we don't have flavored text on our cards. We don't have this room for that, but yeah.
No, the players fill that out.
Yeah,
that's what you should say when you play that card for sure. So I guess we can move on to the main protagonist of this box.
Yeah. Well.
Whew.
So.
Okay.
Well, the Hulk, which in his hero version is called Gladiator Hulk, while in his villain version is called World Breaker Hulk. And well, Gladiator Hulk is a different take on Hulk. You won't find his wide spread damage on a single location cards. You will find him challenging villains, challenging henchmen, and deal damage to them in a very unique way that I don't want to spoil. But the villain is also very interesting because he's here for revenge. And so he's building rage. Also his henchmen are increasing his rage. So Hulk will go around the board trying to knock down heroes and put an obedience disc on them. He wins if all the heroes have an obedience disc. You can get rid of an obedience disc if some other hero will help you. However, is very efficient in taking you down, and the Rage of Hulk is building during the game, so it's going to follow you. It's not like, oh, he drove a movement 4 and no one is there, so he's not damaging anyone. Rage will move him to you. So that's really the most aggressive and difficult to stop version of Hulk villain that we could design.
Yeah, and I do want to mention we do have the Warbound is a big presence in this box.
Yeah.
In his hero version and in his villain version, you have the Warbound doing their thing. They're helping him out.
I think the chat is now on a mission to make me laugh as much as they can because Thor needs a new card, friend from work, that says ignore damage this turn. You guys are more than welcome to do all of that.
Might be.
I think maybe while we talk about Ares, Kenneth, do you want to show these three guys on your turntable?
Yeah. Here they are.
So
and that's we wanted to give Hulk a very dynamic pose, like really jumping into the fray there, and I love his charging into battle pose. We managed to kind of balance him out on a single leg, which I think looks great.
Yes, the armor, wow, incredible. And I love the capes. You really went all out on the capes this season, huh?
Yeah, epic capes, come on.
Epic capes. What's a superhero without an epic cape?
So what can you tell us, Andrea?
About Hercules and Ares, as a heroes, they have a unique feature. They are gods, so they have more flexibility in deciding what they want to do. So they have double icon cards, which are not really double. So some of their cards, they let you choose if you want to move or punch, or if you want to spend an heroic or a movement. That's a unique feature for them as heroes. And Ares as a villain will try to breakout wars around the board. Actually, for this design is kudos to Marco Legato, our lead developer, and is going around like building war between locations, and you need to stop him from doing that, which is a very interesting gameplay. And then I think we are going to the most interesting character of them all in the box.
Sentry kind of steals the show, I think on this one. So I think if we can go to the next slide, we can discuss a bit. He's a complex figure.
Yeah, because as a hero, he has some void cards, and if he forces too much on his incredible power, because of course he's one of the most powerful and great performing heroes in the game, but if he drains too much power, he risks to transform into the void, and the fellow other heroes will suffer the consequences. So it's you can push your powers to the limit, but then you can have like a psychotic breakdown. As a villain, you face him as the void, which is not easy task for any hero. You need to calm him down before you are ever able to try to punch him and take him down. So I think it's pretty unique. You see, he has this special cards, Dark Entity, and as a hero, when you do stuff, you will put Crisis Token there. If there are 3 or more, you reveal one card from his void deck.
He has a whole deck of void cards with different effects, which are going to trigger whenever you use your power too much, feeding into the dark entity. So you have this kind of the more you allow yourself to use the power that the void give you, the more you drift into the dark side, and you can be like more of a danger to your allies and the whole game than help. So balancing those two aspects of him, I think, is very, very interesting. And art wise, it was interesting to use this character and kind of how do we show him as both the hero Sentry and then turning into the void with the kind of tentacles, claws, things that is kind of a visual cue for the void. Kind of integrated that into his miniature, like just the base is those things kind of metaphorically grabbing him and trying to seduce him into the void.
I see a request here. Sorry, just to go back to Kenneth. Can you put Hulkbuster and Hulk side by side?
Well, not side by side, but face to face. Come on, right?
Oh, face to face.
Right?
It does look great.
That is a matchup.
Yeah. So a few more questions here. How does it work in Commander mode, Andrea?
That you can still lose your temper and suffer your consequences. So it works that you have the void deck close to you, and if you push yourself too much, even your supporting team cannot really help you.
Yeah, because the effects of the void triggers is not only about attacking other characters. Like there are just negative consequences in general for the whole game. So
and you don't place them in the storyline, so you simply reveal the void card, you suffer the consequence, and move on.
I'm not understanding the comments.
Really trying to make us laugh.
Exactly.
Because the first comment came from the Void as well. Somebody called Void saying make them kiss, and I'm like, okay, don't tell me Void. I think Hulkbuster's a usual.
It looks like those pre MMA photo shoots where it does look like they're going to kiss.
Yeah.
That is true. So romantic, indeed.
Yeah. We don't have the cards to show because they are asking about the Hercules and Ares cards, but I think they will be in the update or something.
Yeah, you're gonna have to see them in the update. And there are a few locations in this set as well, like the New York sports arena, which couldn't really be named, but you know which one it is. That Hulk turns into a gladiatorial arena. We have Battle World, which is something that has been often requested to bring into the game. It's a full-on expansion, full of very powerful heroes. And we do have one important is going to retail.
Oh yes.
And which means people getting it on Kickstarter do get an extra exclusive hero for them.
Here
which
he
in this
is.
case is more beef in the form of Doc Samson. Who is the strongest psychiatrist in the world.
Yes. We do have his resin. So what can you tell us about Doc Samson?
Well, he's still a beefy character, and he's able to drain the energy from other heroes. But of course, we also try to reflect his psychiatrist side. So he's protecting you, other heroes, to play randomly or face down. So it's hard to enter into Doc Samson's mind. So he's there to help.
And that's another one where we had some fun. One of his cards, like showing his psychiatrist side, where it's him with the Hulk. You can kind of glimpse the Hulk lying there on his like psychiatrist table. I don't know what's it called, and he's just taking notes, doing his psychiatrist thing. And again, love the active running pose balanced on a single foot. Bunch.
We have locations in the box. Yes. Let's.
A few interesting questions here. Sorry. Do you guys feel that with the incredible number of both heroes and villains this game has now, you are still able to make each feel unique and not just copies of one another? So that has to be a challenge for you, Andrea, right? It's a lot.
I mean, we try hard. We feel we succeed. I think really all the heroes in this box are a perfect example of heroic characters looking very different from each other, playing very different from each other. I mean, Sentry is the obvious example, but even as I was saying, Gladiator Hulk is very different from not only the other Hulks, but all the other characters in the game. And the gods, they have those optional cards that makes them also feel very unique. Doc Sam has a unique mechanic for him. And with villains, after a little bit, yes, it's very challenging to find a new play pattern, to find a new and different challenge for the heroes. But I think so far we're really satisfied of what we did. So yeah.
And another question to match, I think. Have we already seen the character that you had the most fun designing this campaign?
I think so. Yes, I think so. I mean, Sentry was really fun. So it's definitely, I mean, with my memory, I can tell you is the number one, but it's definitely one of the 3-4 I had more fun designing and turning really into the comic book equivalent in just a handful of cards. So yeah.
Oh. What about you, Aranha? I'm curious. Have we seen your favorite yet?
That's such a tricky thing. You know, they're my children. I don't play favorites. I think so. Probably. I know sculpt-wise, there's still some things that I'm really excited to unveil. I don't know. Because this season has been so varied. Like there's so many different things going all over the place in terms of sculpts, in terms of mechanics, in terms of heroes, anti-heroes, villains, modes, and like even the paths were a great thing to work on. So I refuse to pick favorites.
Fair enough. So I saw a question here that I'm now lost, but asking about the final secret. Oh yes, is this going to be the final campaign deck?
I think so. Well, there's still 2 days to go, so we never know what can still happen.
No, I don't. I think you misunderstood the question. When we reveal the campaign decks, there was a secret one.
Oh, that. If that's the question, then no.
Or I misunderstood the question. It's possible.
Because well, it is. There is a campaign deck that has already been sold to you guys, which was not revealed, which of course is.
Yep.
This is one of the 8 decks in the campaign decks optional buy.
So congratulations to whoever guessed that. From all, there is a green background. It must be more.
We kind of like is something green? Okay, I guess something green really only means Hulk in the minds of everybody. That's okay. No big deal. And when you set challenges, some people figure it out, some people don't, and that's okay. But yeah, World War Hulk, fully playable campaign mode using a lot of the components from this expansion for sure, and a few other things.
Yeah.
So,
well,
if I may, Elena, may I address a few questions I'm reading? No, there are no challenges in this add-on because the 3 villains are already huge challenges on their own. So there was no need to add additional challenges. We are going to have 3 locations, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Which are linked to the story. So we have Sakar, we have the New York City Arena, which is, as you might know, the Madison Square Garden, redesigned by Hulk, and Battleworld. All with cool and challenging effects.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to the setup, shall we? So before we even started, Aranha immediately said, "Is this the final expansion?"
Yes, I hope so. I cannot take any more. So yeah, yes.
I can't design one in 2 days, please.
Yes, this is the final expansion, but this is definitely not the end of this campaign. We still have a couple days, which tend to be very exciting days. I hope you guys do help us make this a very exciting end game for this campaign. So I think to start this final countdown end game, we are, of course, going to be offering our all-in Omniverse pledge to backers, compiling all the gameplay optional buys into one neat, easy to purchase package. As always, it won't include any of the more cosmetic stuff, like the playmat, plastic tokens, cardboard upgrades, and of course none of the old classic things, the promo boxes, Fantastic Four, Sinister Six, the original plastic tokens. And I'm happy to say that we did manage to. We're going to give back a big discount on this Omniverse All-In pledge. I think it's probably the biggest discount we've ever given on an All-In. So I hope you guys enjoy it. But besides that, people have been wondering what is the exclusive promo to push this All-In. And for this one, we are going all out for the exclusive promo for this. Shall we reveal what you get in the All-In?
Yeah, I was trying to see if someone guessed in the comments, but I'm not seeing yet. But you guys have been requesting it for a while now.
Yeah, it's been oft requested. It's kind of a big deal. So without further ado,
here he is.
Let's wake the dragon and bring in Fing Fang Foom, who has been laying dormant for a long time. He has tried to escape a couple times, and now he will be included as this massive villain for heroes to face. And this is a whole almost a game mode in itself, right, Andrea?
Yeah. Well, not only he's a villain that you will face and he starts sleeping and then he will wake up and then it's trouble for the heroes, but Fin Fang Foom is also a challenge that you can add to any game. He can replace any henchman, he can replace any threat actually, and become a very, very nasty addition to any game you will be playing.
And I really like the twist because in both modes he always starts dormant. So we have this amazing piece of art of him sleeping and he's just snoring there. And when you add him as a challenge, his threat card is him sleeping. But then when the villain bams, he wakes up and then he shows up, lands on the table and starts chasing people. And yeah, that's a challenge you should be careful adding because he does add a lot of vitality to the game. But it's an awesome one. And one thing we are kind of bundling with Fin Fang Foom that kind of had to go with him. So as part of this Omniverse bonus, you get not only Fin Fang Foom, but also his starting location where he sleeps, the Valley of the Sleeping Dragon. So this is a new location where he has to start there, where he's being dormant. Also a very useful location for heroes you can use in any game, which you can use the powers of the valley to kind of put the villain to sleep by delaying their plans.
Yeah.
Only if you still have tags in the location, so you can.
Right. You do have to sacrifice quite a bit to accomplish that, but it might be well worth it.
I see not really a question here, but a request. I hope he's a big mini, like half Sentinels.
He is a big mini. Kenneth, do you have our friend Fin Fang Foom there?
He is a big boy. Well, lots of big boys this live stream. Yeah, I don't think the 3D render really gave the scale.
Yeah, because he's so three-dimensional. Also, because he has the long neck, the wings, and the tail, and the antennae. Yeah, he's a beast for sure.
He's a beast.
And we have kind of a crushed Chinese temple there on the base.
I saw someone asking earlier, I think that's a question for Andrea. I now lost the question. Can we use him as a herald of Galact?
At your own peril, yes.
Wow. Yeah, I guess you can.
Can we compare to Hulkbuster? I think Hulkbuster is there. A few people requested to see Gladiator Hulk next to regular Hulk, but I don't think we have regular Hulk available. Oh, wow. Hello there.
Yeah, Hulkbusters have to work to get to that guy, for sure.
Yes, that is a lot. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a question for Andrea. Will he fit in the stretch goals box?
No, he's a big guy. He has his own box, and that's why he's coming as the extra for the Omniverse pledge. Because adding him to the stretch goal box would inflate that box, in a problematic way actually. So by giving him his own box, we're able to do a much better packing situation that will work much better for everybody. And him with his villain dashboard and location, I think it's going to fit very well. It's going to make for a nice display. And yeah, I love it. He's been dormant. It's kind of funny. His whole saga has been dormant for a while. He tried to leave a few times, but now finally it's his time to shine.
Yeah. Wow. Yes. Well, we are almost at the end here. We need to let Aranha go so he can publish this update. But before we're done,
hold on, just before you do, just because I was thinking about this, the whole history with Fim Fam Foom, and one thing I would like to kind of talk to our backers is so. As some of you may know, we had kind of a slip early on in the campaign, which we were very anxious about, and I would just like to tell the people who avoided the things that were around. Congratulations! And I would also like to say the people who refrained from spreading any of that and keeping things to themselves. Thank you very much. I think it was kind of heartwarming to see the respect for us and the game that people displayed. I was very happy to see how the community reacted to everything, just really pushing the game forward and wanting everything to reveal the way we wanted to reveal things. So thank you all. I hope you enjoyed the show so far, and we have a lot still to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the overall feel of the campaign was very positive, and you guys have been an amazing audience. You guys were excited about things almost as much as these guys are. As you can see, they are the number one fans. But it's been truly great. And to celebrate, since we're approaching the end game here, we'll reach the 48-hour mark this tonight, right? I think it's 9 p.m. Well, we would like to offer one of you a chance to upgrade to All In. So we're having a contest, and the winner will be upgraded from the base pledge to the All In pledge. And all you have to do, since you guys made this such a great campaign, is tell us in the comments below, not in the live chat, in the YouTube comments down below, what was your favorite moment in the campaign? And be aware, we'll read through all of those. So, so let's see what memories you can tell us that will warm our hearts, and the designers and producers will read them. And we hope you had a great time. I'm not sure if you could possibly have had a better time than these guys, because they had a lot of fun. But if you guys did, we would love to hear about it. So we only have a few minutes left. Any final words from you guys before we wrap this up? Andrea, let's start with you.
Andrea?
Well, I second everything Thiago just said, and also really thanks from the bottom of my heart to all the nice comments about how we stretch the design limit of the boundaries of United, and everything nice I've been reading and hearing about the gameplay. It's really heartwarming, so it's great. Thank you to you all, and I mean, get ready. It's not finished. There is still stuff.
Yeah. On that note, we have some very awesome stuff still in store. But more important than that is we do have things that we may use, or like that they may not make it. It all depends on how far we need to push things. So, make us try to put more content into the thing, because otherwise we're pretty set on what we have, the safe things. But we can always squeeze Andrea for another extra design.
Guys, please, I've been putting my health on the line, so don't waste my precious health. Use everything we've been designed. Reach every stretch goal.
It's funny because there are some things that let's kind of design this just so we have it as a backup in case we really need it, but we probably won't need it. But let's have it something ready to go in case it's necessary. And then those things become like the thing I want to see the most, because, and so please get us there.
Yes, true. Well, Kenneth, and how are you? Any final words here? You joined us on the last day. You brought all this amazing stuff.
I know, I was actually a bit disappointed because there was some stuff in the office that I really wanted to show, but we haven't reviewed yet. So that's always interesting. I also noticed a lot of people in the comments putting in their favorite memories. That's not how the contest works. I'm glad that I would have liked to just leave it like that because I also want to join the contest. But you're supposed to put your comments of your favorite memories in the YouTube comments, not on the live stream comments.
Correct. Yes, that is correct. So just to recap, since Kenneth gave me the cue, yes, put your favorite memory of the campaign so far, because we still have 2 days to go. So your favorite memory of the campaign so far, down in the comments. You have until midnight of today, so we can contact the winner tomorrow. We'll contact you via YouTube. And we can't wait to read it all. Well, thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you all watching for joining us. I hope you have an amazing 48 hours until the night of Wednesday. And I hope to see you all very soon. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Oh, thank you.